The king of Mondays. We're back again, brother. Welcome back.
Yes, sir.
And miracles all around us, man. And I'm looking forward to the show.
Oh, yeah.
To speak to this fabulous young lady. And I got to say, you have a knack for bringing to the forefront many of our great people who have contributed to the ease of our life in the present day. You make it look so easy.
Well, you know, we both make it look easy, brother, because without your production skills, you know, it'd be like it was before Marian Croak actually improved communications. The thing that's so incredible about this sister, man, and I just want to greet you again, brother Lance. I know we didn't have time to chop it up like we normally do, and to the family out there, and yeah, this is exciting show because as time go on, you know what's interesting now is I don't even have to think of a title anymore. It just comes to me. So somehow I ran across her name because I was actually going to present someone else. And her name came up twice, her picture on my phone and once on the TV. And I'm like, wow, okay. Marian Croak. And then I remembered her and I remembered her great invention. And I said, that's who we're going to talk about today. So, yeah, it's great to be with you guys again on Monday. And I'm really loving this because I started to film some people when I was out yesterday. But it's interesting that they have did such a masterful job in hiding our great inventors. And this sister, and we'll get into it today, but this sister right here, you're talking about world changers. She is absolutely at the top of the chain again. And you can't really, I mean, when you look at the things that she did, and we'll get into your banner and then we'll get into it. I'll let you go ahead and do your thing. But this is incredible. Even the fact that we're talking like this right now, she's responsible for.
Right. I just want to welcome in Sister Renee and Sister Queen Diane. And I want to do, since there's more people looking at this show because of the King of Monday, I want to debunk something that somebody has been spreading a rumor that this is a fake background, right? So this is what we're going to do. And ask you,
fake?
Is this the fake background? No.
Oh, is that AI?
Is this AI? Is it? Is this AI? Can I take something off the wall? I just want to take a second to say that. You're down at your house. It's a fake background. Well, if you saw the rest of it, you'd really be mad. But let's go ahead, brother.
What? Wow, that's incredible. A person actually said that?
It's like 15 people telling me that. Just one person. And I think it's somebody that used to come onto the show, but they kind of like, it's a lot of politics, but yeah, fake background.
Wow.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's great work you're doing there at your mansion, man, and it looks great. So
thank you.
But yeah, so like I was saying before we get into your banner, I don't even, I would in the past I would think and write out everything and think about it, but now I just wait and the name pops up. So and it's better that way because it's like I'm not picking and choosing. I know that this is somebody that we're supposed to talk about now. And the great thing about this is resurrecting. Well, she's actually still alive, but just resurrecting their energy, her energy and spirit. And this sister has a extraordinary, humble spirit, right? But she is extremely brilliant. And I'll let you get us kicked off as usual today, brother. And we'll deep dive. This is going to be exciting, talking about this sister right here and her great accomplishments.
Yes. So here we have her visual to the left.
Yes.
And I always want to put it to the left because most of us read from the left and the right to the right. And I just had, I just had to list out. Let me just remove this other, whatchamacallit here so we can see clearer. I don't want to overlap that with two logos. Here we go. It explains everything right there. And I had to put the relevance, because I can read this whole thing out. It would take a little time, but I want you to get into it as far as telling us, what you want to share with us. But the innovations behind the connections, voice over internet protocol, enhanced voice quality and reliability, scalable communication systems, secure and efficient data transmission, collaboration techniques. People are not going to really connect with that, even though it's great, and that's what she's done. But when you put the chiclets, when you put the little logos of Zoom, WhatsApp, FaceTime, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, internet calling, messenger calls, and so much more, people can relate to that, because without her, we wouldn't be able to use that. I use WhatsApp a lot since I'm out here in the motherland to connect with people all over the world, and especially in America. So I have to thank her for it. And so this is one thing that I want to say, that, we as a people are great, but we have to pay homage to our sisters. They do not just give birth to children. They give birth to so many things that we need, that we can use, that's necessary. So it's not just the womb. You see what I mean? She is life. Our sisters are life. And I'm so proud to be connected to the original woman of the planet Earth, the most powerful. And I don't understand, I understand why the enemy wants to make them just twerk and sell themselves cheap, and see themselves as the baddest, bitch and stuff. But see, why would you not want the innovations that come from her soul? You understand?
Yeah. Yes.
Essence. Yes.
That is a very good point, brother, because again, it's so sad. We talk about the fact that America has been given a gift that very few places have been given, countries. But it just shows you at the root of what this battle is with the Azul system and with the original people of the planet. Okay, so as you were saying, she is somebody that represents the best of our sisters. And not only that, you cannot have, when you have a situation where you have just one demographic, like white males, making all of the critical decisions for a nation of people and also the world, then you have cut out the creatrix spirit, which is vital to the spirit of their nation. And unfortunately, this is not being done. This is being done deliberately.
Yes.
Okay, because they know, again, like you were saying, they know the greatness of the creatrix spirit, but it's more important for them to keep this hidden. I mean, when you just look at the fact of the Zoom calls, the fact that we can interface with each other right now, FaceTime. When you look at all of these different Skype, all of the connections with the VoIP system, it gives credence to what you were just saying. They are the actual womb of everything that is birthed on this planet.
That's right.
And unfortunately, well, the way they look at it, they're cutting this power because this power is great enough, or has been great enough, to keep them at bay. Because they have done so much to our sisters. We did the thing on the medical field, right? We did the video on that. But it goes way beyond the breeding farms how I was listening to a statistic the other day where 9% of Black or European blood is in most of African Americans in this country.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not just by, coincidence.
Right.
It comes from centuries of SAing our women.
That's right.
Okay. Having them work like men in the fields. Okay. And we can go on and on and on. But sometimes we forget that these women came out of the darkest, deepest abyss in America.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's why I get upset, when I see our own brothers doing this to our sisters.
Right.
The white people, it don't bother me that much because I understand why they do it. But it's like it's like a bitter pill when you hear another brother talking about our sisters. But we're gonna deep dive. Lance, did you have something else to say about her? Can you hear me, Lance?
Brother, I don't know if you're still. Yeah. Okay, you froze a bit. I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. I said, did you want to kind of to wrap up what you were saying with her before we deep dive into it?
Well, everything has come out of the womb of the Black woman.
Yes. Right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Without the Black woman, you can't have a womb without the Black woman. When they say that others came from us, well, if that's true or not, originally it came from the Black woman. And so absolutely. I find it funny, not funny in a comical way, but when a child is in school and feels in danger, the first thing they say is that they want their mommy and they want to go home. And like I said before, home rhymes with womb. They want to go womb. They want to go home. And there's nothing better than that womb of the Black woman who makes a home where if she's not there, it can't happen. Now, Brother Neil Frazier just dropped off for a second, so I know he'll be back on. So I'll just push the button and go on automatic until he returns. But we always have to look deeper at this whole thing. It's a creator, God, whatever you want to call it, connection, especially for our sisters who have had to come through so much. I mean, in America and in the West, they look down on women anyway in general, but then when you're a Black woman, it's even worse. And you have this greatness inside of you, and you train it and cultivate it, and certain people will acknowledge it to a point. But when it gets to a great point, it's like, oh, heck no. Or as they say it, excuse my French, oh, hell no. We can't let her come to the forefront with something that we didn't come up with. We're the white man. We're supposed to be the one to take the credit for everything. We want to be a God beside God. This is why we want to mess up everything that the Creator made, because those people are jealous of the Creator. I'll go off on that on another one. But yes, brother, I went on automatic.
Oh, man.
You're back. So
I don't know how that happened.
That's one of those, glitches.
Yeah.
I'm used to
it. But yeah, and I can understand why they are upset right now, because
okay, for some reason you just got knocked off again. It's gonna be one of those nights, one of those crazy nights, but it's okay. That's the story of my life, fighting uphill to the point where it's gotten easier now. Now that I'm out here, it's real easy now. So, hey, these enemies got to sleep sometime. And even though AI doesn't sleep, trust me, I'll run AI down. Respect the truth. Welcome on in, brother. Thank you for being here. We're just waiting for Brother Neil Frazier to come back on in. I don't know what he's using. It might be his phone or his tablet. If it's his tablet, I'll just say for him to switch over to the phone.
I had,
He
you
had
know
to
what?
learn.
Yeah, so they're not going to be able to do that again. I had to click and go out and come back in, but I see what's happening now. I see the little glitch. But anyway, yeah, brother. So it stands to reason, and why it's so important for us to resurrect the fact that this Black woman is the reason why the world is connected today. This is a biblical proportion, as they say. This is not just something that you can say, oh yeah, well, this is the person that's responsible, because she would be on a Mount Rushmore. Okay, we know, if she was not a Black woman. So today we're going to definitely deep dive and talk about this great sister today. And the picture, the visual I like to start up with, Lance, is the one with her holding the world in her hand. Yeah, that's a very, very telling picture. And the reason it's telling is because it gives you the right visual as to what this one Black woman, how she affected the world.
Exactly.
Marian Croak is an American engineer and inventor whose work, sorry, I've been talking a lot this morning, helped shape modern internet communications. So she is best known for pioneering key advances in voice over internet protocol, or VoIP. And this is the technology that enables internet-based voice and video calls used by services such as video conferencing, like we're doing now, and online calling platforms. And that's extremely important, because prior to this, no one knew that your voice or a voice could be carried thousands of miles, okay, over the internet to other continents. So we want to put this in its proper perspective, because the other thing about her is that when you look at the volume of work that she did and how she actually put together the interest structure for this, then it really makes you look at the fact that, okay, we have, as we were saying, we have Black women with disability, but they're being stifled. Our young sisters are being stifled because they have the ability to change the world. And anyone in their right mind would want the world to move forward, not backwards, right? Except backwards thinking people, of course. Some of her most significant achievements include, so she was born in Pennsylvania, and then her family moved to New York. So I think she grew up in Manhattan. And so at an early age, her father saw something in her and kind of constructed a laboratory in their house. And so she got this fascination, when most little girls, first thing you want to give them is a doll, right? Not thinking that, okay, she doesn't need a toy. What she needs is, I need to find out what it is that she's curious about to bring this gift out of her, because obviously, I was telling you earlier, she has a very humble spirit. So, you could tell that she was someone who felt things real deeply. And that's the type of introspection that the creatrix spirit brings to our world that unfortunately is being stifled right now. But she holds more than 200 patents, okay, many related to VoIP and networking technologies. So she also developed the text to donate technology. So you know how today, if you want to run a donation, or you're trying to get funding online or whatever, or you're even trying to donate to some cause, She is the reason why we have the ability to do that. So I think it was Katrina was the first time she came up with this system in order to help people that were victims of the Katrina hurricane. And she was the one that developed this software to allow people to donate online. And so now it's gotten to grown to the point where people can text into shows, like if they're voting for a particular contestant or whatever. And this sister is responsible for this. And
Yes.
this is something that's so mind blowing that if she was not a Black woman, she would be celebrated not just in the history books, she'd be celebrated in every book in elementary, middle school, and high school. All the children would know about her.
You're right.
And that's the unfortunate part about this. But just go through real quick what her accolades are. She has a bachelor's degree from Princeton University, a PhD in social psychology and quantitative analysis from the University of Southern California. Her honors include induction into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2022, which, by the way, she and Patricia Babb are the only two Black women that were inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Wow. And she was also elected to the National Academy of Engineering. She has also received numerous awards recognizing her contributions to telecommunications and engineering. Dr. Marian Croak is widely recognized as one of the most influential inventors in modern telecommunications, with innovations that have made internet calling, video conferencing, and mobile charitable giving part of everyday life. And the reason why I put a lot of emphasis on this, because again, she literally is responsible for connecting the world. When you look at the technologies like Zoom, which many business systems use, and we use it in our personal lives, right?
Exactly.
You look at Skype, you look at FaceTime. The reason why we can do FaceTime with each other on a device. So again, I just wanted to kind of highlight that, because a lot of times we jump over things and we don't look at the significance of, and again, here's a sister that grew up during the Jim Crow era. So let's not forget that as well. Okay, brother, we can go to another picture.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
All right. Okay. It's kind of small. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that pretty much says it all right there. Without her, no Zoom, no FaceTime, no internet calls, right? So I want to get to, there you go. I want to get to some of the things that, the importance of her innovation and why it's important for us to now, look at this and say, okay, this is something that actually her innovation is inspiring some young people, not just women, but young men. I saw a program about this. And so when we bring this to light, regardless to where they tell us it goes, we know that it'll reach the right person. And let's look at so again, she had over 200 patents, right? And basically the patents with the greatest real world impact is the one we were just talking about, the voice over internet protocol. reliability, and quality. Her most influential work wasn't a single patent, but dozens of related patents that made internet voice communication practical, reliable, and scalable. One landmark patent is U.S. Patent 7599359, method and apparatus for monitoring end-to-end performance in a network. So we're going to mention what these are, and then we're going to talk about this real quick. These inventions solve problems like reducing drop calls. So you remember in the early days, calls would just drop maybe 3 or 4 times a day when you're talking on the phone.
Right.
Well, she's the reason why this doesn't happen anymore. Maintaining voice quality, prioritizing voice traffic over other internet traffic, and also monitoring network performance in real time. Now, why it matters today, nothing like cold water. Nearly every internet call or meeting benefits from these ideas. And we just mentioned them: Zoom, Microsoft Teams. Oh, I forgot, WhatsApp calls.
There you go.
Right? FaceTime, Google Meet, Discord, and many business phone systems. So the reason why this is so very important, obviously, is because you would not be able to connect with people basically face to face like you were talking to them physically if it wasn't for this particular technology. There are a few more things about her that I wanted to really highlight, okay, because also we mentioned the fact that this technology helped millions of people following the Katrina hurricane and also the earthquake in Haiti. It also inspired many modern mobile giving systems used by nonprofits today. So when you look at a system like what we use, Ever Giving, where you know, it's right there on the tablet. When people donate, you know, it goes right in, or you can hit the word donate in a lot of these systems that are set up. But it's all based on her invention. A few other things that's very, very important is television voting. So when you're watching a program like, what's the one, just dancing programs, American Idol.
Right.
And they say, well, you can vote for contestant 1 through 5. Your ability to be home right now and do that is from this technology. Emergency notifications. Think about how many lives are saved because this is real-time, instantaneous communication, right? So if you didn't have that technology, then emergency situations would take longer to respond to. And therefore, right, it would increase. So there are so many different effects that this technology has had on our world in a positive way. Mass messaging systems. You're able to have thousands, millions of people texting at the same time, okay, because of this system. And also large scale event communications. So let's say, well, like you do now, you're engineering and producing from Ghana, but I'm in California. So it's amazing. Isn't that amazing? And we're looking at the person that, yeah, no, go ahead, brother.
No, this is in live time.
Exactly. So, think about if you had a bunch of kids around you, black girls looking at this, and you telling them what this, because they use it more devices more than we do.
Exactly.
The truth be told. So I guarantee you, though, and this is the sad part about it, brother, and largely this is our fault. Okay. We know the public school system that they have an agenda against, our people and our history. But at the same time, again, living here in this state, I've had the ability, the lack of a better word, or the privilege of actually seeing how other cultures from around the world actually operate. And it's helped me see a lot of, so we have to spend a lot of our time as a shield for most of the other cultures, right? Mm-hmm. But now, since that shield has come down, then it's like, imagine you have a dome that's supposed to stop missiles, and all of a sudden that dome don't work no more. You feel me? So, the missiles are gonna come. So when we look at the scalability of what this technology how this technology has impacted the world, it's mind blowing. So when you look at which patent has affected the most people, now this is an astonishing figure when you look at it. If one had to be singled out, it would be her VoIP patent portfolio. Billions of people use internet-based voice and video communication every day, whether for work, education, healthcare, as we were saying, emergency services, or just staying in touch with family and friends, right? Mm-hmm. The engineering solutions covered by the patents help make those services dependable enough for global use. And the last word about this is what's especially notable is that many of her most important patents aren't consumer-facing inventions like a smartphone or app, but instead they solve fundamental infrastructure problems, the kinds of technologies that people rarely notice, but that make modern digital communication possible. Now that's a mouthful right there. That's like, thank you, Creatrix. That's what fertile soil is. Yeah. And that's what the Black woman's womb is. It's fertile soil. But when you keep trying to when you keep damaging this fertile soil, then it is going to have an effect on how things manifest from it, right? And when you look at her and Dr. Shirley Jackson, and see, that's why our genetic memory bank is so important, brother, because you look at the connection, both of them contributed to world telecommunications, right? Mm-hmm. But in different ways. But we see this connection with these sisters, right? And when you look at it, what if they had never, seriously, what if they have never innovated these technologies? What kind of world would we be living in?
Exactly.
And we talk about these two sisters, okay? Mm-hmm. So, and I know sometimes it seems like I overemphasize things, but I do that deliberately because they have been so underrated that, again, they would be on a Mount Rushmore had they, not been kissed by the sun. So if you want to go with another visual, brother, I'll go through this last little bit about her, and then we can talk about her. Yeah, this was her being inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame in 2022, which is no small feat. One of the things that is very important about this is that, again, like you said in the beginning, our women are so multi-talented and multifaceted that it makes me think about when I think it was Dr. Shirley Jackson when she was playing with the bees when she was a little girl, right? And she was that her? Yeah, her or Patricia Bath? No, that was Shirley Jackson. And after the bees were in the jar for a little while, they refused to jump out anymore. So it makes you think about the fact of what this is. And I'm always when I look at someone like her, I'm always amazed that when you look at the era that she had to come up in. And this puts the accomplishment way above what you're actually looking at. But Marian Croak has had a profound global impact through her pioneering work on voice over internet protocol. Her work has transformed communications in several major ways. One, she made, as we were discussing, she made global communication more affordable. VoIP allows voice calls to travel over the internet instead of traditional telephone networks, and it dramatically reducing the cost of long distance and international calls. Now, if we just stop there, that would be enough, okay? If we just stop at that one point, that would be a game changer, game, set, match, over. Okay, mic drop. She made global communications what it is today. It also enabled modern video conferencing. Technologies pioneered by Croak, helped by the Foundation for services such as Zoom, Microsoft Teams, internet calling, and other platforms used for remote meetings, education, and collaboration. Now, that's extremely, and again, brother, we always talk about how these corporations and their subsidiaries eat off of our ancestors. Well, she's not an ancestor, but off of our people's inventions, right? Now, there are millions of subsidiaries around the world that eat off of this in all areas of human existence, right? Businesses, international corporations, schools, education systems, healthcare providers, hospitals. Okay. So when we look at the scope of her invention, again, I want to emphasize this. We're talking about something like somebody would, one day they're going to try to say an alien did this. I guarantee you. They're going to say, yeah, that's another reason why it's important for us, why they want to erase this history, because now, when you try to teach your children and they ask the question, well, who invented the technology for us to use the internet? Because our children nowadays, they ask questions.
Directly.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why even the little white kids, some of them they're showing on YouTube or whatever, they're asking their parents questions. Why do you lie about our history? Why did you lie about Black folks' history?
There you go.
Why did you make me a racist? Because I wasn't born one. I wasn't born. And these are legitimate issues that are very important. But see, this is why they have issues, the Azuls, they have issues with what do they call it? Critical race theory.
Yes. Because
all of this, these are just dog whistle words to hide their true intentions, right? And they're masters of deception and manipulation.
No doubt.
So while you, and it's amazing, some of our people, I ain't even gonna get into that. But the thing is, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So, but the thing is they fight so hard to keep our children or even our adults. There are many Black adults that do not know who this woman is. Okay, I guarantee you. So also it enabled modern. Yeah, we talked about that. It supported remote work and learning. Now, think about during the C-19 situation, right? The pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
This technology of VoIP-based communication became essential for businesses, schools, healthcare providers, and families to stay connected. Now, think about this. Had not this technology been in place, C-19 would have wiped us out. In a lot of ways, that pandemic would have shut America down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't have been able to do no business. You wouldn't have been able to talk to nobody face to face. It's like talking in the dark. You don't really know who's or like we did a presentation on it with the big alien to serve man. You know, you're talking out the side of your neck, you know, and I can hear you, but you know, your mouth ain't moving. Something wrong with that picture. So it also improved business communications. Organizations worldwide, these high IQ people, okay, they use VoIP systems for customer service. All of your customers come from this sister right here. I don't care what you want to say. Collaboration, how y'all be sitting in those boardrooms, working, you know, drinking your martinis and, you know, walking out looking like you know, just solve all the world problems, but you wouldn't have been able to do it without this sister here. And you don't want to even give credit where credit is due. See, that's the bad part about it. And flexible cloud-based phone systems, reducing infrastructure costs while improving productivity. So all the things that these so-called high IQ people, while calling you low IQ, would not be able to, they love fiat so much, all of that would have been shut down. Imagine that. Also, it expanded access worldwide. Obviously, the internet-based calling has made communication more accessible in many regions where traditional telephone infrastructure is limited, supporting economic development and connectivity. Beyond VoIP, Croak also invented the concept behind text to donate. We talked about that, which has enabled charities to raise millions of dollars for disaster relief and humanitarian causes through mobile phone donations. Finally, because of these contributions, she has received numerous honors, which we see right here: induction into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 2022, and recognizing her role in transforming global digital communications. Okay, brother. Thank you. So, yes. You know, one of the other things too, and this is why I say, you know, it's so important for our children to know who our inventors are, is because nobody can really stop you. They can put detours up. They can hinder you. They can even criticize you and make it hard. But if you know that something can be done and it's been done already, then you have the ability to do it. So, and it's so important. Now, here's the other thing too about this, is that it really doesn't matter what you're doing. You can't stop the sun. Obviously, we see the effects of the sun on people, literally. I think in Europe, Okay. And when you take that same theory and you apply it to, what we're talking about today, is that you cannot, this is, as we talk about all the time, this is at a scale where you cannot control. Okay. You cannot control the Neteru. They're still going to cause earthquakes, hurricanes, the sun turning up. Okay. Bees, millions of bees being released, a truck turning over. You think that's by chance? Okay. So the thing is we just have to keep our eyes on the prize. We don't have to focus. One of the things I'm so concerned about now, and Lance, you can talk to this as well, because you have great insight into this, is that a lot of our focus comes from, okay, you can go in and you can show the nail shops and all. That's good to know, in the sense that it's good to know that you are recognizing your power. Mm-hmm. It's not about hurting other people. But when people have gone through the genetic pain or the trauma, a good person, Dr. Joy, I think her name is DeCrew or something like that. Maybe somebody in the family knows. You might know. Yeah. Lance. I know. Yeah. I know who you're talking. Yeah. Okay. She does a great work on this post-slave traumatic syndrome. And there's actually a gene that Black people carry that no one else carries. It's like a trauma gene. I think it's called, I can't think. Why am I getting a brain fart on this? But it's a trauma gene that we have, that it goes in our bloodstream. So it's interesting when you look at the fact that people who share this type of pain, we want to, this is at the unconscious level. Although a lot of people do it, to spite people, but at the unconscious level, now you have somebody to unload all this pain on. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's like you're getting so much, and we do this with each other. You're getting so much pleasure out of somebody else feeling pain that you're not looking at the fact that this vortex was open for you not to say, aha, look what we're doing. It was open for you now to say, okay, well, we're transferring this wealth where it's supposed to be. And right. I'm a little concerned that now all of the focus is on how many empty nail shops it is, or beauty shops, or whatever. And that's not where our energy should be. Our energy should be organizing, where the sisters are organizing to feel, because I believe there are 85% of the consumers in that industry. Okay. I know it's in the 80s, but now you have a tremendous opportunity to do something like what this sister did. And I tell you, one of the other things that I've learned to, just going back through this whole process, is that just what we're talking about, that this wisdom that's coming from the Creator through nature that all of us are connected to is now wide open. All you got to do is tap into it. But now, if you're still getting pleasure from Azul and his system of vampires, then you're not going to, it's just like if you like sugar, it's hard to stop using it. And in our neighborhoods, every store that you go in, it's nothing but sugary products. That's all our kids are drinking.
Out here too. They're pushing it hard.
There too. See, I'm surprised about that.
Yeah, no, they're pushing it hard down in the cities, and even up in the villages. They have shops that little shops that Black folks own, and lots of them have nothing but different types of colas, different type of sodas, all full of sugar. Yes, they push that hard.
That's amazing.
they know what's going to happen down to the line. And I'll show some stuff and upload it up on YouTube. It's bad, really bad.
Wow,
you can't get away.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But you know, they've been running that game on us for a long time. When we had our little stores in our communities, we had fresh juice and everything. But I tell you, there are not in our neighborhoods, but you go to other areas and all you see is juices. Okay. You see water, fresh water, bottled water. You see all these high protein shakes. You don't see any of that where Black folks live.
Right. And see, that's the thing too. They trick you in the Black neighborhoods by the packaging. They'll have something that has an orange on the packaging, and it will say orange, and if they drink real small, and some
that happened to me.
I'm getting orange juice, and they'll say on there 5% fruit juice. You see what I mean?
Right.
So
right.
We don't look at that lots of times. Or they'll have a certain exotic type of juice, but the main thing is concentrated apple juice. Apple juice.
There you go.
So when you look at the packaging, most people know, but some don't. The first announced product is what they have the most of in that package. So you may go 5 or 7 or 8 items down, and it'll say orange juice or raspberry juice or whatever, but that's not the most of what's in there. They have to have a little bit in it to legally say that, but it's a drink. It's not the full juice. And it all comes
that's
down
true.
It all comes down.
It all comes down to sugar. Yeah.
One more thing you know is that anything with OSE at the end, like glucose, galactose, you know, it's the sugar. The only one that you can consume safely is sucrose, because sucrose doesn't get digested by the system, but it's a kind of a sweet. But fructose, that's the sugar from fruit. So good. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
High fructose corn syrup. All
it's corn syrup.
Yeah. High fructose.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
And you know, the other thing too is they play this game where the juices or the real food is expensive. So, you know, even if you go to a restaurant, then if you're eating at a health place, a place that specializes in healthy food or nutritious food, it's going to be twice as much as if you go to a regular, you know. This is why everybody's eating fast food.
Yes.
And cheaper. That's part of the plan as well. It's cheaper. You know, it's more convenient. You can stay in your car. People have gotten very lazy, man. They don't want to get out. That's why I walk every day, brother. Because the one thing I realized too is that it's like if an alien just came and observed us for 24 hours, they could draw up something to say with everything that we do. Okay, because they drive through, they don't get out the car, they're on the phone. Wherever they're going, instead of parking and catching public transportation or getting, riding a bike or doing whatever, they'll just drive the cars every day. And it's like that. So we can see how we're shaped and almost like animals in a factory. And when you sit back and look at it. And one last thing I wanted to say about this sister today is that not only did her innovation change the world, but she also was somebody that gave back to the community, because she actually, I think she was a vice president for Google before she retired. And she worked in the AT&T laboratories for like 30 years. That's where she developed this technology. But she also was instrumental in setting up programs in the community where, you know, young Black girls could actually live out their, you know, bring their gifts into fruition. All right, my brother. Well, I think I'll end the show today.
Yes, yes. Thanks.
Peace.
Thanks so much. And I'm going to have the actual full story and biography.
Okay,
it's written up,
that'll be good.
But I had a little technical
the description.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to download this version of our show and upload it to LanceScurvX.com, and it's gonna be put out. So if everybody's subscribed by email, you'll get it. But I'll still share it other places. So I'm gonna work on that as soon as we get off. Okay, brother. Well, you have a great weekend. Right. I mean, week. Yes. Hold on to the belts, and greetings to the family. Yes, definitely. All right, my brother. Peace and love. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Yes, I want to announce. Let me see here. Brother Malik gave this to me today. We're going to do this. Okay, it's not even there. Hold on a second. This connection is a bit slow. Okay, there it is. Now you see our brothers on the bottom. Let me remove my scrolling banner. So if you're in Illinois, Oak Lawn, Illinois, at the Nada Center, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, Sunday, July 12th, you'll see that there's a Muslim Street live broadcast, Pan-Africanism and the Palestinian Liberation Movement. And you see Brother Art Mobley and Brother Sheikh Mohammed Sharif. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He was on the show this past Sunday. You see Brother Malik and Abdir Rahman El Ghuli. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But we're going to have it here. And they're going to have a crowd there, and they're going to be coming up to the front and asking questions. We've arranged how to do that. And so that's going to be a different type of show, and it may go on a little longer, but it's going to be live. Brother Art Mobley and Malik Aziz will be right next to each other. Malik is traveling, you know, to Illinois for this weekend. So it's going to be interesting for me to run it from here and connect it. And so we have to thank, you know, Marian Croak, rather, sorry, for the innovation to be able to do stuff like this and use it the right way. So we're going to be setting that up, and I spoke with Brother Malik today. So I said, okay, let me give a little promotion on it. And other than that, I'm going to sign off and get some more work done. I have a lot of shorts to upload. I may do something again tonight to put up later on. I'll see how I feel. I've been running around so much this week, and I've been keeping up with my quota, but I want to do more, and a lot of creative ideas that I have. And like I said, you know, we're on the roll. So we're going to keep things going and be positive and be, I want to tell a little story. You know, I'm not driving yet. I don't need to with all of these vans that are like running like past my house. But to be honest, I had to make a stop urgently in time to come back home and do the show. I could have done the show through the phone and remain remote, but I said, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I got to go, and I'm going to go and get back home. So here it is. I had barely enough time to do it, but I put it in my mind. I said, I am not worrying about anything. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get one of these vans. And it was several miles. A good distance I had to go. It was not walking distance. I mean, I actually had to go to the ATM. Okay. So truth be told, that's what it was. I have to be prepared for some things in the morning time with the cash, put my business out there, but it's nothing abnormal. So anyway, I said, okay, let's break this down. I have to be very blessed and lucky to get there and get back in due time to set up. And you know what? I accepted that. I said, you know what? It's going to work out. Are flying by. 2 of them passed me by, full. No more room. So, okay, no problem. I looked down at my watch. I said, okay, I may have to turn around and change plans, but you know what? I'm not worried about it. The universe got me. All of a sudden, there's a little pickup truck that whizzed past me and honked the horn. And he pointed up to where I was going. And I said, yeah, I'm going in that direction. So the seats were taken. It was a tiny pickup truck. And I had to hop in the back. I had no problem with that. And so he could have gone. Or did you have to squeeze into the front? You hear this? This is Gemini listening to what I'm saying. I'm gonna cut this phone off. Could you believe that? Getting into conversations they're not invited into. All right. Let me just put this down. So anyway, I hopped into the back of the pickup truck and he took me exactly right to the front of the bank. I couldn't believe it. I was so early, but I saved